All right, we're live. Yeah, we're live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. Whoa, messing with the levels. Sorry. Let's get this under control. So one thing about doing shows live is that we have to work on the fly. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the CMSV show. I'm your host, Adam Krieger. As always, the other co-host, Matt Pincus. Matt, what's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. It was a good day. Rangers finally showed out for a game. Snapped in a 2-game win streak, but we'll get into that later. Oh, 2-game losing streak, should I say. We'll get to that later in the show, though, but I'm doing good, Adam. How you doing today?
I probably should have asked this about 3 weeks ago, but you prefer Matt or Matthew?
Honestly, I don't really have
Is Matthew like what your mom calls you when you're in trouble? Like, yeah, you'll get full named.
Or I get Maddie every once in a while. That's
if you're in trouble.
Not from trouble. Just when I come home, it's like, oh my God, Maddie.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But usually, my name is like Pincus. Like even my friends from back home, like they'll be talking to me and my dad and be like, oh yeah, Pincus, whatever did this, and it's just kind of like weird. Cause
Dude,
it's like,
same thing for me. I have like literally one of my best friends. His name is also Adam, and so. I've been Krieger my entire life. No, the only time I've ever been called Adam consistently is when I came to Mount St. Vincent. It was mad funny, but yeah, everyone calls me Kriegs, Krieger, whatever you want to call it. And even my mom, when we're like out in public and like she needs to get my attention, because I barely respond to Adam anymore. It's pretty bad. Anyway, we're live. If we're a little loud, let me know in the comments section. We got a live chat pulled up for this broadcast. We have first time ever with with our little chatter, with our live chat. Yeah, there we go. I switched it over. We got full show for you guys today. I got a big rant about Major League Baseball. That is,
as you should though.
Oh, I am so angry. About it. As always, we got the Ranger recap, the Rangers rant, whatever you want to call it, and then today we got I guess today it'll be more of a recap than a rant. Last week was a rant after a few losing games. This is more of like a celebratory recap. And then this week we also got our top 5 present New York sports athletes. A little top 5 for you. And then just want to say, make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show. We got a little teaser for next week that it's gonna be good. We're doing big things over here. I guess before we even get into the topics. I'm so sick of New York weather. I'm so sick of the weather here. It's been brutal. Yesterday was so nice, walking around in shorts. I mean, you're wearing shorts today, but I mean, I woke up today, it was literally like 21 degrees. It's like, let's just make up our mind. What do we want to do? It's March 3rd, which is crazy. We're already in March. We got less than 3 months till graduation.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's getting close. I'm still waiting for my audit. Please, registrar, help me out here. Yeah. I mean, I guess while we're talking about graduation, the one thing I will say is, like, I would like to know, like, where it's going to be, the amount of tickets we're going to have, like, who can come. I don't know, like, my mom's been calling the office every day. They probably blackmailed our number, but they're like, Mom's like, who can come? How many tickets are we getting? Like, with all yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, they let that go straight to voicemail.
Yeah.
I know it's done in that place.
But please do our registrars. Please do our audits. Please. All right. I guess the big news of the week is on Monday as of 5 p.m. Monday, I think it was Tuesday at 5 p.m. The owners, Rob Manfred. Oh, dude, I'm so mad. They officially decided to postpone the MLB season. The first 2 series have officially been canceled. That means for the Mets, they lost 5 home games, so that's already right off the rip. But I'm just so sick of billionaires arguing with millionaires. I know this isn't a new concept to sports. The players are all saying, well, this is just imagine you're arguing with your boss about like rights. You don't take the dollar amounts out of it. It's hard for me to take the dollar amounts out of it. Like, I just want to watch baseball. I want to go to Citi Field. I want to watch Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, Frankie Lindor, all these new players that the Mets signed. I want to watch them play baseball. But instead, I got to sit home, twiddle my thumbs, and I got to watch the Knicks. And I don't even watch the Knicks.
That is just painful.
What? Like, exactly. Like, I'm just trying to watch some damn baseball. And the owners and Rob Manfred have denied that. I'm pissed. I mean,
As you should be, though.
you're not a baseball guy, right?
Not a huge baseball guy, but I grew up loving the sport, so it always has a special place in my heart. But I don't understand I was talking about this yesterday with my roommate. The top paid hockey player in the world, Connor McDavid, makes $12 million. That's like chump change in the MLB. People who are like your seventh string pitchers are making at least 40, 50 million. It's absurd. I just don't understand what's going on with them. I truly don't understand the situation as much as I think I do, but I know that you'll be here to, correct my wrongs, but I don't understand why can't what is the real thing going on around this that no one wants to play? Is it the money or is it something else?
Obviously it's all about the money, as usual. However, the players are sick of being on losing teams and tanking. Losing, not 80 to 90 games a year out of 162 games is a lot to lose. And owners. So here's the crux of the issue: is that there are, like all teams, like all sports, big market teams, small market teams, right? We're in New York, so we have obviously two of the biggest markets, the Mets and the Yankees. They share one market, but they both are two of the biggest teams in the sport. And you got LA, but then you have teams like the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Kansas City Royals, the Colorado Rockies, the Cleveland now Guardians. Essentially, those teams don't even use a fraction of their payroll. The biggest gripe from the players is that every team in the MLB gets let's say it's $100 million from the revenue share, from all the TV rights, all the broadcasts, all the stuff that the league gets. Some teams aren't even spending the $100 million that they're getting. Never mind the extra money that they're making on top from ballparks, concessions, yada yada yada. So, it's messed up, and these players want to get paid a little bit more. They're not asking for like a lot of money. I guess the difference is that the common misconception, like you said, seventh grade, seventh overall pitchers are getting a lot of money, but the price disparity of some of these players, like Max Scherzer is going to get $45 million a year, but Pete Alonso, arguably one of the better players in all Major League Baseball, gets around like $750,000 because that's just the way that the salary works in baseball. Players are pissed. The Players Association are pissed about the owners and general managers like messing with, their contracts and not pulling them up. So like essentially, the way it works is that there's major league minimums, but there's two-way contracts, it's called. So you can be in the minor league team and on the major league team and go back and forth, and your service time, how long you've been in the major leagues, changes based off the amount of money you get changes based off service time. So you see guys there are guys that are clearly MLB ready in AAA. They're top prospects. They've always been top prospects their entire life, but the league wants to pay them. The owners want one more year of player control over them before they have to pay them. So they'll hold them in minor leagues until, let's say, it's July 15th when their service time is less than halfway through the year, and then they'll move them up. So they're getting players and general managers and offices are kind of messing with the players. They're screwing them over a little bit, for lack of better words. I have a lot of other words I can use, but as I said to Dr. Crown over yesterday, I'm going to try and contain myself. It's just kind of one of those annoying things where, the players are right to be mad. Rob Manfred is smiling and giggling at the press conference when he's denouncing this. The same guy who called the World Series trophy just a piece of metal. No, he's the worst owner in sports, and I know you have a gripe. Bettman, everyone hates Bettman too, but I don't know. At least they're putting a product out on the ice every season.
Yeah, 100%. He's horrible, but definitely not as bad as this guy. What did you say?
Man
fraud. That's great.
Man fraud. Just a quick little side note on that. A few of the guys from Barstool, they were outside the MLB office yesterday protesting, and they all got arrested. It was a little funny side note going on in this. But I just want to watch baseball. It's not that hard to ask for, Opening day would have been March 31st, so that would have been 28 days from today. Now, I've seen some rumblings on Twitter that this isn't even going to get fixed until after Memorial Day. If I have to wait until June 1st to watch baseball, I'm gonna start crying. Like if I don't have a baseball game to watch on my birthday, it would be an issue. But I guess what's really the biggest crux of the issue is that they're losing fans. Like I was talking with my dad about this yesterday, and he's like, I don't care because I'm over it. Like he goes, why am I gonna support the league? Why am I gonna support these teams? They don't care about us. They don't care about putting a product in the field. Like I don't know. It just sucks. And honestly, the craziest part about this is that only 25% of the owners could vote no to the proposals, and we won't have a season. So like 75% of the league could be like, yeah, like we want this to happen. It's fine what they're doing, but nope. You got the Pirates, the Royals, the other cheapies. I guess and then one other thing that came out of this is that they did agree to get rid of the designated hitter or add the designated hitter to both leagues, so no more pitchers have to hit. For me, that's great because Jacob deGrom gets hurt every time he has to swing a bat, and he's the best pitcher in baseball. We're going to get to that in a little bit. And they expanded the playoffs, so now there's 12 teams as opposed to, I think there's normally 6 or 8. I forgot how it works. You got the 3 division winners, that's 6, and then
wild card spots.
Then 2, yeah. So technically 10, but the bottom 4 teams only play 1 game, so it's basically 8. Yeah, just a joke. I'm sick of baseball. I want to watch baseball. Yeah. All right. You got anything else on that?
I'm like what you were saying before. Just putting a product out on the field,
So important.
Just to, especially with baseball, I grew up loving baseball. As I grew a little bit older, discovered what lacrosse was. I kind of moved away from it. But, in the NHL is also a great example of this. What do they do to market the sport? In the last couple of years, absolutely nothing. But, in this coming year, they made their deal with ESPN, get the games on, a TNT, all these other channels. And, I was watching the Ranger game last night on TNT. They have very good production for these things. They have Wayne Gretzky on there. Every once in a while, they have Paul Bissonnette on there. Great personalities that will draw people towards the game. But, you do all these things, but there's not many fans coming in. And like baseball, it is a slow sport. It is America's pastime. But there's not a lot of young kids that are, just coming up and saying, you know what, I'm going to play baseball because this is, the most exciting sport that there is. There's got to be something through the marketing or something like that to draw these players in. Use those personalities such as the Aaron Judge, the Jacob deGroms, and, really promote them and, make these kids idolize them and want to be like them one day, want to play in the MLB one day. And there's still a huge, huge amount of baseball fans, but there's not that growth that you see in most of the other sports. But that's understandable, it's America's pastime. There's always going to be fans of baseball. I know my dad's always going to love baseball. I'm always going to watch it when I get older, to slow down a little bit. But it's just the growth. There needs to be a little bit more growth. And obviously, that's not helping with a lockout.
Yeah, it's annoying. Yo, we got our first chatter, Anthony. What's up, Anthony? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Sorry, I've been checking my phone because I'm trying to make sure. Last time we were recording, the audio was really quiet, so I have a few people at home, and then.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, we got a few people checking in. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, I'm always gonna love baseball. It's the soft spot, it's a soft spot in my heart. One place that I'm never gonna. It's one thing I'll never let go of. The Mets are my one love. Not my one love, but you know what I mean. They're my one team. That comparably, I guess my next thing would be the Jets, and they suck. So even if the Jets are good, they'll never take over the Mets in my love. I watch almost 158 to 155 games a year, and I won 62. So I live and die by those guys, and it's just annoying to not have a product in the field. All right, transition over to the other New York sports team. Matt, this one's all you.
Real quick, I just wanted to say, while we were going through our top 5 for this week, top 5 best New York sports athletes, what a bad time it is to be a New York sports fan. It took us, I absorbed New York sports all day long. It took me a good 15, 20 minutes to get 2 people. I was only doing 2 and 4 on this list. I know, obviously, you have a huge Rangers fan, got to throw one of them in. But then who am I picking for the second? I don't want to do another Rangers guy. You know, you got the Knicks, horrible. The Jets, horrible. The Giants, horrible. Buffalo Sabres, disgraceful.
Oh, man.
Islanders, also horrible.
I forgot about the Bills when I was doing that.
Oh, yeah, also the Bills. All right, so, you know, big day yesterday for the Rangers. You know, snapping a 2-game losing streak. I'm just going to go back to last Thursday, you know, playing the Capitals, went to the game. The Garden was buzzing. Everyone was alive that day. Rangers pulled out to a nice 4-0 lead. You know, 3 minutes left in the third. We collapsed a little bit. You know, easy goal let up. Alex Ovechkin, of course. But it was an absolutely solid performance. You know, Zibanejad is looking insane. Fox doing Fox things. He just always gets points. You know, I've been talking to my dad about this the last couple nights. Panarin looks like he's fanning on every shot he's taking. Every time he goes to handle the puck, he's messing it up. He's not making space. He's getting, you know, he's still getting his points. Same thing as Fox. But Fox hasn't looked too good since he came back from his injury. That's something to be a little worried about, but I'm sure they'll find their feet. So, next game on, we have the Pens. Good, hard-fought game. You know, Shesterkin absolutely standing on his head once again. Absolutely awful call. You know, of course, Sidney Crosby is going to cry, get his power play with 5 minutes left in the third. Just awful. Absolutely awful call. Evgeny Malkin standing on the opposite side absolutely pings a one-timer to the left post. Nothing you can really do about that. Vancouver, I like Vancouver. Vancouver has a very good team. I'm a huge Elias Pettersson fan. That kid is going to be insane. You know, Vancouver's just got to step it up a little bit. But, you know, Georgiev is in net. Not a huge fan of Georgiev. Still a decent goaltender, but I don't know. 5 goals. You could have handled that one a little bit better. But, you know, they move on. Now we have St. Louis last night. St. Louis is a very good, well-rounded team. They're extremely strong on the boards, and we realized that last night watching the game. You know, the Rangers are kind of dilly-dallying on the boards, having a lot of time in the Rangers zone, especially in the first period. But, you know, they find the way. You know, first line is looking incredible. You know, obviously, Zibanejad and Kreider are 2 absolute mules on the ice. But now you have these younger guys. Alexis Lafreniere starting to look like he's a hockey player now. He's got, I think it was 5 goals in his last 9 games. He's got 13 on the season, 4 assists, 17 points in 52 games. Not awful, but, you know, we're starting to see that production now. That's what we like to see. You know, the first line's really buzzing out there. I want to say it was Fox gets shot on the net, and you have Kreider and Lafreniere right in front of, I think his name is Haas, whatever. Right in front of him, you know, putting in the rebound, putting it up 1-0 late in the first period. We score our second goal. Ryan Strome finally hits the net. That guy just could not hit a side of a barn if his life depended on it. So we go up 2-0. Quick turnaround. The Blues scored 3 goals in the second period with less than a minute left. That was huge. Go from having a 2-0 lead to all of a sudden we're down by 1, down 3-2. And, you know, these are things you don't really see. It was while Adam Fox and Ryan Lindgren are on the ice, are definitely our best defensive pairing that we have. You know, just a little lapse in concentration, you can see what that does to a team. Igor Shesterkin, on those 3 goals, I can honestly say he shouldn't have had any of them. They're all absurd shots from absurd angles, you know, coming off a pipe, going bar down. There's nothing you can really do about that. But it's the team playing in front of him. You know, Fox and Lindgren, you don't see those lapses in concentration. That never really happens for the both of them. But on this specific night, you know, they fall asleep for less than 30 seconds, and bang, there's 3 goals on the board against us. You know, we did a good job coming back. You know, Kreider, once again, getting the 35th goal of the year. Only behind Austin Matthews and Leon Draisaitl right now for the top goal scorer in the NHL, which is just insane. I'm so happy that he hit 35. He's been past his career high for about 2 months right now. So he's a mule. He's an absolute beast. He's always out there on the ice. He's so fast. He's so strong on his stick. I absolutely love the guy. We need to give him a C. I don't know what's going on, but there's got to be a captain on the team.
I love the mule term. I've never heard that one before. Is that a new one or is that an old one?
You know what? My dad said it yesterday, so I got to kind of incorporate it into the vocabulary.
You're
perfect.
You're getting your vocab from him. Normally you know, we get the vocab in college, we pass it out, we spread it out. You're getting it from Pops and bringing it in here. I like it.
So, looking ahead right now, we got New Jersey on Friday. That should be a win for the Rangers. Playing at home at the Garden. And, the Devils are horrible. Jack Hughes is absurd, though, I have to say. Playing very well lately, We both got our young star, Jack Hughes, Alexis Lafreniere. But I think we should come out with that. And then we go on a nice little West road trip. You got Winnipeg on Sunday.
Love the West road trips. The 10 o'clock starts every
Awful.
night.
Absolutely awful. I hate that. But Winnipeg's a good team. They're the first. This is very interesting. They're the first team in NHL history to go up by 4 goals, give up 4 goals, and then score another 4 goals after. That's just absurd. That's obviously never happened before in the NHL. That's just crazy. Tuesday we have the Minnesota Wild. I personally love Minnesota. They are a really good team, led by Matt Zuccarello and Gabriel
My boy
Kaprizov.
Zooks.
Oh, I missed Zuke so much.
He was so much fun to watch.
So that's gonna be a hard game. Out of these 4 games that they have, we're playing St. Louis again on Thursday, and then Dallas Stars on Saturday to finish it out. Out of these 4 games, being in the division that we're in, the Rangers need at least 6 points, maybe 4 points out of these to really keep our spot up there. Carolina, second place now. Pittsburgh, absolutely on a roll. It's gonna be really interesting. Once the season comes to a close, I've been kind of hoping Carolina stays up there at the 1. They get the 4 seed. Probably gonna be the Capitals, maybe the Blue Jackets, who are on a surge right now. But I was kind of hoping to get either Pittsburgh or the Capitals, staying in that 2 and 3 spot. But it's looking a little shaky now. I definitely do not want to see Carolina in the first round of the playoffs. We had that during COVID year. God bless them for beating us, giving us Alexis Lafreniere. But,
Yeah,
I definitely don't want to see. That's a strong Carolina Hurricanes team. Freddie Anderson, absurd. Sebastian Aho, absurd. Svechnikov.
Freddie is insane. Insane.
It's way too many players. Slavin, Trocheck. That's just a scary team. Teuvo Teravainen. There's just way too many guys. That's not someone I want to see. I'd rather take on the 38, 39-year-old Malkin and Crosby and try my luck.
Dude, so the Canes played the Oilers the other day, and I watched McDavid probably. I'm not a big hockey guy. I watch the Canes, and that's it. But I was watching McDavid skid around the ice. That dude is insane. I didn't even really I didn't fully grasp him and Draisaitl together are absolutely ridiculous. It's insane that team doesn't put up. They're not in contentions every year with the 2 highest point scorers, in the league.
They can't
but
defend.
Just watching that guy play was just incredible. He was creating shots and from angles I didn't even know existed. He gets the spots in the ice before you even think it's possible. He's just there. It was incredible. They're I don't want to say they're a fun team to watch, but those two together.
He's the best player to watch.
What? It's
100%.
incredible. And the Canes beat them too, a little icing on the cake. But yeah, listen, the Canes dropped a tough one to Detroit the other day in overtime. It's just funny.
Detroit's a good team, though.
It's just so many. It's so funny how many former Rangers are on the Hurricanes, and it's literally because Carolina is turning into New York South. Florida is obviously New York South, and then everyone's just kind of moving their way down 95, and they're all ended up in North Carolina. And you got D'Angelo, Shea,
Jesper Foss,
Brennan
Smith,
Stepan. Did I say D'Angelo already? Yeah, and that's the other thing is that this team is definitely a little bit flawed right now in the power play. Without D'Angelo, he's out for undisclosed amount of time. He had a
lower body injury.
He had a non-contact injury, which was crazy off a shot. Yeah, I think it's his elbow, but I think they're still calling it lower body or whatever. But yeah, and last thing before we move on, I think that guy Zibanejad has had a goal in almost every game since we started recording this podcast. That's just a fun little note because every time I get the Bleacher Report alerts for the end of the games, and I think he's got a point. And they probably played 8 games or 9 games in 3 weeks, and probably more than that. I feel like he's got to have at least 7 or 8 points, including after you called him scoring the goal. And then the last thing, and this is just you're ripping off all these names about who the preview is, and every time you say a wacky name, I just think of the Chance the Rapper SNL skit. It's just
let's do that hockey.
How do you learn? How long does it take you to learn all these guys' names?
Oh, know what? This is good since we were talking about my dad. My dad still can't say Mika Zibanejad. He's been in the system for 6 years.
What does he say? He says Z?
Zibanejad, anything. I can't even think about it because it's just, I'm so used to saying Zibanejad. I just know how to say it. It's just everything. Lafreniere was a good one at first. He tries to get that little French accent. Lafreniere. But, yeah, it's so funny. Even Shesterkin, Georgiev, we got, like,
Exactly. Like,
names on the Rangers.
There's no way I'm going to be able to pronounce that name. Like, what? Say it one more time.
Igor Shesterkin.
Shesterkin. There we go.
There you go, yeah.
Dude, crazy. Just imagine being a hockey announcer. It's like Zibanejad to Zizorkin to, and then you got like Foster, like, yeah, it's just
a nice name like Adam Fox.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, it's just like, even you, like right now, I'm looking at the script. You just typed out LAF because imagine spelling out Lafreniere is just like, imagine saying that 10 times fast, probably get you canceled. Yeah. We got a lot of games left in the hockey season.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's kind of I've been so used to like shortened seasons and like COVID and like last year you're playing only your division. Mm-hmm. They play a full season. They didn't play a full season last year, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
it was only a division last year.
It's a little. So it feels like it's almost like there's just like someone with like 30 games left. So it's gonna be a hike.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Definitely a wild ride to the finish, and This is what we watch for. This is the exciting moments. I want them to be there in April and May. When does the season end? May? Give me a sec. Yeah, May.
First week of May, right? It's like, yeah.
Want to see them playing in May. Definitely got to go see a Rangers playoffs game. Well, they got to get there. Got to keep this team strong. This guy, Gerard Gallant, I don't know how he does it. Just gets these young kids to band together and, win game after game. Not to say that, Shesterkin's not a huge part of that, but, the team in front of him looks, not the best team in the league, but they're getting better and better every year. A couple of years ago, we had the nice letter, we're going to a rebuild. And, 2 years later, we got a second overall pick, first overall pick, Artemi Panarin, a stud goalie from Russia, actually 2 stud goalies from Russia. Georgiev was good back in his day. Now he's dropped off a little bit. But, the turnaround that this management has gotten, I could not believe it when it first happened.
It's rare you see those messages to fans, like, we're sorry, like, we're going to turn this around, and it rarely does happen. But it is just in terms of, like, ownership groups, and because obviously, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Who's the owner of the Rangers? Why am I drawing a blank?
Why am I drawing a blank?
God. Chat boys, help me out.
I got you.
Damn, I'm drawing a blank.
Not the Texas Rangers.
Wow. The guy who owns MSG, he owns the
James
Rangers.
Dolan
gets a lot of crap for being the Knicks owner, and apparently no one wants to come for the Knicks because of him. But the Rangers have had like mild success in the last 15 years. I think the reason is because he doesn't touch the Rangers, right? He just lets his like management handle it, and he kind of meddles in the Knicks a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's funny. All right, we got another 12 minutes. I'm just gonna quick little story. I know we did a field goal story about wrestling last week with the guy with no legs who won the Virginia State Championship. Now, different story. This time New York, 8th grader. Where's his name? Where's my note? Did you see the story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy story. I feel bad for the kid. 8th grader, I'm going to butcher this name. Dunia Sibomana. An 8th grader at Long Beach. Stud wrestler. Won the state championship this weekend, Division I. I think he was 102 pounds. He came to New York in the United States because he was attacked by a group of wild chimpanzees in the West Congo. Crazy story. It was part of like a mission, a charity mission to get him out of this. So the injury happened. I guess he must have gone to like the local doctor there, and like one of those like charity missions found him, and they sponsored him, and they brought him to New York, and they paid for all of his facial reconstruction surgery, and they he needed. I think he had like 17 or 18 surgeries to try and fix his face, and the first one alone was 12 hours. And every time you do one of those crazy surgeries, I don't know you'll be able to come out alive. So this kid battled through all those. While he was in the United States, his mother and father both died. Mother died from like a weird form of pneumonia, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. And the dad died from another unknown reason. So he stayed in New York at Sacred Heart, not Stony Brook, not Sacred Heart, Stony Brook Medical Center. He was adopted by a family in Long Beach, and it turns out that they couldn't have kids, the family that adopted him, so they legally adopted Dunia. Turns out this kid's just a stud wrestler. 45-1 this season. Basically walked his way to a state championship. Beat the 1 seed. Beat everyone in front of him. Just a kind of crazy story. And then he gave like a really powerful interview at the end. It's rare that high school wrestling in New York, because New York isn't the best high school wrestling state by any means. But this was getting national attention. The fact that you even saw it kind of says everything you need to know. Just an all-time feel-good story. And you get a few of these every wrestling season. Obviously, we had 2 like really extreme ones this year with the Virginia kid and Dunia. But it's crazy. This is the first year I haven't gone to the New York State Wrestling Championships in, what year is it, 2022? I've gone probably the last 7 years, because in 2020 they I guess obviously last year didn't count, but 2020 they had one, because the wrestling championship is like, wrestling season ends basically March 1st, so there was the last state championship event to be held before COVID shut down the world. So it's a crazy story. I wish I was there just to see. I heard the crowd went nuts. Everyone was all in for him. It's a crazy story. Congratulations, Dunia. State champion's hard to do. He's an 8th grader from Long Beach. He's going to be a 5-time state champ, and it's crazy. It's hard to be a 5-time state champ anywhere, especially New York. He joined some elite categories. All right. Anything on that or no? We can just move on to the top 5.
I think you summed it up perfectly. Feel good story. Love hearing those kinds of things.
Love a nice feel good story. We're gonna try and work one of those in once a week.
I feel like that's one of the best things about sports. Obviously you love the competition, you love watching it, but every once in a while you get one of those stories, and that just really makes you feel good inside. Every once in a while you need that little pick me up. Hearing one of these stories, it's just great. Love to see that stuff.
All right, into our top 5 New York athletes. Now, we kind of alluded to this a little bit before. It's a bad time to be a New York sports fan. The Mets have Scherzer and DeGrom. Scherzer's not in the list because he hasn't played for New York yet. I will just put that out there now. But it is just an incredible. Thank you, M. Oh, is that you, M?
No, I was just looking to see who that was, too.
I don't know. I'll flex for you. Matt, flex for him. Give him a little flex. There you go. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for watching. By the way, if you're watching, hit the like button. Just helps us out a little bit. Yeah. So I'm a Jets fan, and we're coming up with our top 5 list of New York athletes, and it's just like I'm going up and down the roster. Like who is incredible on this team? Obviously, you got like Quentin Williams, who's a great defensive tackle. You got Zach Wilson, not great, but the quarterback of the Jets. Daniel Jones. I'll leave the audience to make their own determinations on him, but it's about to be in year 5 of his contract, so we don't even know he's going to be back next year. Not a great time to be a New York sports athlete. Not a great time. Oh, I found out who my boy M is. Shout out Money Mike. Appreciate it. It's really his name, Money Mike. It's his legal name. All right, so this...
Mike. All right, Mike.
Last time you did 1, 3, and 5. This time I'll do 1, 3, 5. So we'll start at 5. My boy Big Meat Pete, the polar bear, the smashing first baseman, the former Rookie of the Year, the home run derby champion, Pete Alonso. I wish I didn't. I was kind of up in the air about him because there was. I obviously love him and he's a great first baseman, but I don't even know if he's gonna play the field this year. I was kind of hoping to have some diversity. Obviously, I'm a little tease. I have a Met at number 1. So I was trying not to get all 3. If it were up to me, I would have had all 5 Mets players. But so I was trying to switch it up a little bit. But at the end of the day, like we kind of mentioned too, no one on the Jets is good. No one on the Giants is good. Like Saquon, it would have been Saquon, but Saquon can't stay healthy. So yeah, I'll go Big Meat Pete Alonso at 5.
All right, so up in the 4 spot, like we were saying, not a huge basketball fan, but, I can respect greatness when I see it. This guy, Kevin Durant, a little bit of a snake for going to Golden State, but, hey, now he's in New York, doing something LeBron could never do. Coming to the Nets.
Next week we're doing 40 minutes on LeBron hate. I love that. I love that topic. Let's do it.
So, obviously Kevin Durant, absolutely just the Slim Reaper. I'll never get over that picture. He's like he's sitting in a chair. His legs are out. They look like two hockey sticks. Guy is just absurd. He's so tall, and he's just so good at shooting basketball.
Dude, it's insane what he can do in a basketball court. He's going to come down as arguably like a top 5 scorer of all time in the NBA. It's just funny that this man coming out of college couldn't even bench press 135. Just like a skinny, man looks like my pinky, and he's just a savage in the basketball court. My favorite part about Kevin Durant is that before it was the burner accounts, I'm not a fan of burners, but now that he's fully leaned into it, he goes. I remember probably a few months ago, someone was like, "Come on, Kevin Durant, you're on Twitter, relax." He's like, "No, there's no relaxing on Twitter. I'm 100% all time." He'll come at your throat. He'll let you know exactly how he feels, and I love that, especially in the modern age of athletes. You're going from the Derek Jeters who never had anything personal about never do anything like that in their life, but now Kevin Durant's just coming at your throat on Twitter. Love it. Number 3, I had a different person here at number 3 originally, but then I remember that Buffalo is in New York, and like I said, I'm a Jets fan. I'll root for the Jets over the Bills, but Josh Allen, man, that dude is a 10 out of 10 certified stud. Puts the city of Buffalo on his back. Poor guy didn't get a chance to touch the ball in overtime of the AFC divisional round. It's just an incredible story coming from Wyoming. No one believed in him. Dude is just a straight baller. Got a rocket arm. Will run around for days. So, number 17 in the 3 spot, Josh Allen. He's basically a Canadian, all the way up in Buffalo, but he's a New York sports athlete, so I'll take him.
I like that pick, though. I saw the light bulb go off in your
head. I was like,
as soon as I said the Sabres.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow.
I forgot about Buffalo.
So in the 2 spot, obviously, we're going to have a Rangers guy here.
Of course.
In the honorable mentions, I had Igor Shesterkin, so I think that kind of gives it away. We got Adam Fox in the number 2 spot. Homegrown kid, grew up watching the Rangers, turned down not 1, but 2 NHL franchises because he wasn't going to play for anyone but the Rangers.
Not a fan of that.
But, love it. Kid coming out of Long Island, just coming into the league, so silky with the puck. Even last night, gets the puck behind the net. I forget who on the Blues is coming to absolutely plaster his face into the boards. Just does a quick little 2 move with the stick, puts the puck behind him, passes it over to Lindgren on the opposite side. Just so smooth with the puck. He makes everything look really easy. Being an NHL defenseman, usually they're the bigger guys, who can still, skate pretty fast. This kid Adam Fox is probably my size, probably 5'10". Let me look this up right now. But, he's just absolutely so smooth with the puck. It's just great to watch him. I'm so happy he's a Ranger. Saw a statistic yesterday on TNT. Shout out TNT for that. The top top 5 defensemen with points since 2019. Obviously, Cale Makar, who's absurd, has 102. Adam Fox is in second with 97, and Victor Hedman in third with, I think it was 92. To be up there with the Victor Hedman and the Cale Makars of the NHL, having this homegrown kid, it's so great to see. Adam Fox is 5'11", 183 pounds. Kid looks tiny out there. He looks like a Pee-wee player, but he is the best player on the ice almost at all times. So, shout out Adam Fox, number 2 spot.
Love me a nice New Yorker. I wish he was going to have Carolina, but whatever. We kind of talked about that a few weeks ago. It's a story for a different day. I thought hockey players were a little bit different than that. Anyway, number 1, no doubt in my mind. If we were doing next week, we're probably do all time New York athletes, and this guy is still going to be in my top 5 for sure. Jacob deGrom. best player I've ever watched play baseball, or honestly the best player I've ever seen watch play any sport at any given time. Man throws 101 consistently, is the best pitcher in baseball year in, year out. Now that doesn't have to swing the bat anymore, he probably shouldn't be getting hurt as much. The Mets have built around him. They're incredible. They got him a number 2, Max Scherzer, but man, there is no one better than Jacob deGrom. He is, just for reference, for all my gambling folks out there, every time he's the starting pitcher, the Mets are going to be minus 200 favorites. Just the way it is. That's steep money. You don't want to bet against them, even because the Mets have a weird thing of not scoring when he's on the mound, and he has a lot of losses. But this man's ERA was under 2 for almost the entire time he was pitching. He's a certified baller, best pitcher in baseball, no doubt about it. Every year he's pitching, he's a Cy Young contender. He's arguably one of the best players in baseball, top 5 in baseball for sure. So definitely going to be on my New York list. Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but I mean, like, no one on the Jets or Giants deserves to be on those lists right now. No one, not a single person. Maybe Quinn Williams. No, Jamal Adams sucked, but he got a lot of hype back in the day when he was a Jet. Barzell, I could have maybe heard as an option. Julius Randle, if it's for last year, would have gotten a nod. I don't even know who's on the Knicks right now. Like Kemba Walker's not even playing. Quick side note on that. Imagine how demoralizing it must be to be told you're sitting out the rest of the season when you're not hurt, just so you can get ready for next year. Like, that is some yikes.
That's hard to take.
Yeah. That man has some of the best basketball moments I've ever seen in my life for UConn. Now it's just kind of sad watching him rot on the bench in New York. I think that's kind of it for this week. We're trying to keep the show tight a little bit, hit the windows, give you a nice 45 minutes. Make sure you're liking the video if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching live, I appreciate it. Anthony and Money Mike, thanks for chatting. Next week, if you're watching 12 o'clock, we got this lined up now, so we know we're going live at 12. Hop on the wave with us. Come hang out in the chat. If you have a question for us, let it rip in the chat. We'll read it. We'll answer it for you. And then I think we're gonna have a guest next week. Yeah.
Can confirm.
We don't know who it's gonna be. Well, we know, but you don't know who it's gonna be. So we're gonna get that up and rolling. So it'll be a little bit different. We'll have 20 minutes with the guest and then 20 minutes of us. So basically, Matt's gonna rant about the Rangers for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna rant about whatever is going on in baseball. Unless we have a cool feel-good story. Actually, it'd be good to have the second guy we mentioned because he's really big into baseball too. So yeah. Make sure you tune in again. Thank you for listening. Like the video.
Hit that notification bell.
Boom. Subscribe. Check the box. Everything we do. I appreciate